Thank you for staying tuned. Muslims in Nigeria are observing Monday, March 11th, 2024, as the first day of the month of Ramadan. Sultan of Sokoto's Abubakar, a spiritual leader of Muslims in Nigeria, announced the commencement of Ramadan following the sighting of the moon across the country on Sunday, the 29th day of the month of Shaban, encouraging Muslims nationwide to observe the fast in accordance with the Islamic teachings. The Sultan urged them to use these sacred months to pray fervently against the ongoing insecurity plaguing the nation. He also called on all Muslims to pray for the country's leaders, imploring them to discharge their duties with the fear of God. The Sultan emphasized the importance of assisting the underprivileged during this period. And to discuss the significance of the Islamic Holy Month is Chief Missioner, Association of Muslim Professionals, Sheikh Daud Adetokunboh Adelakun. Good afternoon. Glad to have you join me.
Happy having you too. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much.
All right. Speak to me about the essence of moon sighting to Ramadan.
Well, we thank Allah, the Lord of the worlds. We appreciate Him for His favor upon us, for keeping us alive till this beautiful day, the best of the days of the year, the first day of the month of Ramadan. But Ramadan is one of the sacred months in the whole lunar month, which the Muslim count. In Islam, religious activities are determined by nature. Our daily prayers are determined by the movement of the sun. When we do our Fajr prayer, when the sun just rising, when we do our Zohr prayer, when the sun has just shifted from the rising, when we do our Asr prayer, when the sun is actually perfect, and then Maghrib, when it is sunset. So this is daily activities. Our yearly activities, one of them is fasting. You do it only once in a year, which is mandatory, for a whole month. Other one is Hajj. You go to holy pilgrimage, also once in a year or once in a lifetime, but has to be only once in a year. Cannot do it 2-3 times in a year. All these are determined by the position of the moon, the crescent. And that is why before fasting is started, you have to search for the moon, that the moon has actually started, that is, you have entered into the month. You can't make it mandatory to be fasted outside that month has been mandatory. You can have voluntary fasting anytime, but the one that God has made to be mandatory, compulsory, obligatory upon every sane Muslim, upon every matured Muslim, upon every healthy Muslim, upon every Muslim that is present, is not on journey, that's resident, and is sane, and has good health, and is of age, that's at an age of puberty. Fasting becomes mandatory of them on the sighting of the moon of the first day of Ramadan. From that day till the end of that month of Ramadan, it is forbidden. It's a sin upon any Muslim to eat and drink in the afternoon of those days. And that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in His holy book, in the Quran, in Quran 2, ayah 183, that Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykum as-siyam kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum. That all you who profess the faith, who believe in the oneness of Allah, who believe in the day of judgment, who believe in the messengership, who believe in the scriptures that have been revealed, who believe in destiny, all of you, and believe in the books. When the month of Ramadan is cited, it is mandatory upon you to fast. This fasting is not only on you, it has been made upon those before you. Kutiba alaykum as-siyam kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun.
Sheikh Adelakun.
Fasting mandatory upon you.
Yes, Sheikh.
Yes, please.
Yes, you've spoken copiously about the need to fast, the need for Muslims to fast during this period of Ramadan. But I'm wondering as to how fasting makes a Muslim God conscious. If you could just elaborate.
Okay, thank you very much. That is the essence of fasting. For every act of worship as a Muslim, you have 5 pillars of Islam. One is fast is daily prayers. That wants to take you away from, promiscuity, iniquities. Your fasting is to make you closer to God, to make you understand the essence of creation, to make you feel the position of the less privileged. There you have food to eat, but you cannot eat. But you have it. Some don't even have the food to eat. How do you feel their feelings? People need to be cared of, to be cared for in this period. So your consciousness of God increases when you're fasting. Generally, look at it, human being. When a human being is very, very happy, he's very happy, he commits more sin when he's happy. He has so much money in him, he has so much time in him, he has so much free time, everything. He clubs, he does everything, he wastes so much money, and he commits a lot of sin. But when he's a little bit incapacitated, when he's a little bit in need, when you are fasting, you are hungry. And that's because you are hungry, your ability to do many commitment sins become reduced because of the state in which you are. So fasting increases one's piety. It makes you think more about God who has actually made you to fast. And that is why the conditions and the activities that's carried out in the month of Ramadan, you can see that those one increases one's consciousness. Piety means consciousness of that everything I do, God is watching over me. And I'm going to be rewarded by it. And
all right.
Why
Sheikh
the Messenger of Allah said,
just a button there. Let's talk about mental health, particularly in this present economic reality of Nigeria. I mean, how can Ramadan practices like increased prayer and also reflection contribute to better mental health for people?
Yes, purpose of fasting, like you've said too, is to increase piety and consciousness of God. And because of this, your mental health is bound to improve. You are going to be thinking of the less privileged. Look at this economic situation of Nigeria now. People, sins, corruption all over. People care less about God. People care less about death. People care less about the feelings for other people. Fasting, the essence of fasting is for you to think about the conditions of the less privileged. And you'll be able to help them. In fasting period, you do more of charity, more of support of the less privileged. So when you do this, it affects the mental status of the less privileged. They feel happy too. They have the sense of belonging. So some people care for us. That we are not just abandoned. God has not abandoned us. He has made some people, the rich people, to reach out to the less privileged for the fasting. And that is why they said, whoever feeds a fasting person in the month of Ramadan will have the reward of a person who has fasted and his own will not be reduced. And it will be as if he has actually fed people for 70 days. If you have done only one. So, and that is the essence of fast. So it increases the mental well-being of the citizens. And it makes us feel, and in the month of Ramadan, there will be a lot of lectures, admonitions, reminders here and there that will make people to feel their responsibility to their God and the responsibility to humanity. Because religion is serving God and humanity. If you say you are worshiping God and you are not concerned about the feelings of the fellow creatures of God, then you are not a conscious Muslim.
Okay, just one final question for you, Sheikh Adelakun. How can Muslims, even beyond Ramadan, maintain a healthy eating habit?
Yes. Usually, as a human being, one of the benefits of fasting is, physical benefits, health benefits. You improve your health status because you don't eat much all the time. So these habits should be continued. That is why in Islam, we fast Monday and Thursdays. We fast 13, 14, 15 of the lunar month. So this is a practice that should be continuous after the month of Ramadan. This should be continued. You're used to it and you repeat every week, you read every month. So, and that increases you physically, you are better off. Health-wise, you are better off. And you will be able to reason faster. And you'll be able to perform better as a Muslim and as a human being.
And that's a fine place to wrap up. Thank you so much for your insight on the news, Sheikh Daud Adetokunboh Adelakun. Thank you so much for your insight.
You are welcome. Thank you so much too.